A very, very good morning to all of you. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Welcome to today's enlightening event hosted by One Special Place. I hope you're all having a brilliant Sunday and thank you for joining us for this special session. To provide you a context, One Special Place is India's premier online speech therapy provider dedicated to assisting individuals of all ages overcoming speech, language, and learning difficulties since 2014. At One Special Place, we believe in holistic care, offering a range of therapies, including occupational therapy, mental health therapy, nutritional therapy, and special education to ensure comprehensive support for our clients' needs. Today, we stand proud as we join hands for this live session to present this impactful event to you in collaboration with Advanced Bionics, a global leader in cochlear implant technology since 1993, renowned for pioneering innovative solutions that transform the lives of individuals with hearing loss. AB's groundbreaking cochlear implant systems not only restore hearing but also empower individuals to reconnect with the world of sound, fostering meaningful connections and enriching lives. Talking about AB, we have a video here for you explaining what exactly are cochlear implants. Have a look at this.
Millions of people suffer from hearing loss. For those who no longer benefit from hearing aids, cochlear implants may be the next best step. For most people, severe to profound hearing loss results from damage to fine sensory hair cells in the inner ear. A cochlear implant bypasses the damaged hair cells and sends electrical signals directly to the hearing nerve and onto the brain. It all begins with the microphones, which capture sound waves approaching the ear. Then, the processor, shown here worn over the ear, converts the sound into digital signals. These signals are sent to the headpiece, which in turn transmits them to the connected implant and onto the inner ear. The hearing nerve receives signals from the implant and sends impulses to the brain, which are interpreted as sound. For people who don't benefit from hearing aids, CI technology makes it possible to perceive sound. The result? A revolutionary restoration of hearing, connecting you or your loved ones to the world of sound. An experience not possible with hearing aids alone. At Advanced Bionics, we're here to help provide a solution. This hearing system from Advanced Bionics is a direct result of 70 years of innovation in hearing technology from Advanced Bionics and Sonova.
Brilliant, right? To what technology can do to empower everyone. Great. So today we have the honor of welcoming two distinguished professionals whose expertise and dedication have profoundly impacted the fields of speech therapy and rehabilitation. Please join me in welcoming Mithila Punacha ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am. Welcome to One Special Places Today live stream. I'm so happy both of you could take out the time and join us on this Sunday. So, to set the context, I would like to please introduce Mithila ma'am as well as Lakshmi ma'am to the world. I'm sure many of you already know Mithila ma'am. She's truly a trailblazer in the realm of habilitation and community support. With over 16 years of invaluable experience, Mithila ma'am serves as the manager of habilitation and AB community for Advanced Bionics in India. Her journey is marked by a relentless commitment to empowering individuals with diverse hearing abilities through innovative approach. Mithila ma'am's passion for holistic habilitation, coupled with her extensive international and national research presentations, makes her a beacon of inspiration and knowledge in our community. My heartiest welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to this interaction.
Thank you, ma'am. Joining Mithila ma'am is the remarkable Lakshmi ma'am, a clinical coordinator and speech language pathologist at One Special Place, whose unwavering dedication has touched lives of countless individuals. With a wealth of experience spanning 9 years, Lakshmi ma'am embodies the epitome of compassionate care and professional excellence. Together, Mithila ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am represent the epitome of dedication, expertise, and compassion in the realm of speech therapy and rehabilitation. My heartiest welcome to all of you. Thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am, also for joining us today.
Thank you, Ananta.
Great. So, it's no doubt that cochlear implants have revolutionized the way individuals with hearing loss experience the world around them. These remarkable devices not only restore hearing, but also play a crucial role in shaping language development and facilitating effective communication. As we gather here today to mark the International Cochlear Implant Day, it's our aim to delve deeper into the transformative potential of cochlear implants on language acquisition, speech production, and overall communication skills. And of course, we have the perfect experts to us about this. So, I have a few questions for both of you. May I have your permission to kickstart the session?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. So, Mithila, ma'am, can you share your experience working with individuals undergoing cochlear implant rehabilitation and how that kind of influences their language development and communication skills?
Yeah, sure. Firstly, thanks to One Special Place for having me here. And it's really a very momentous day because it's the International Cochlear Implant Day. And, having worked in this field for 16 years now, I've seen a sea of change. And yet, I would say there's lots more for us to achieve. Awareness has definitely improved from what it was several years back when I started work. It's so much more awareness is there amongst parents. People are seeking out for options. People are getting out there and looking at what others have to say. While having said that, I would also say that newborn hearing screening is something that we should be having as a mandatory thing, and the government should be looking at it. Of course, it's there in pockets. It's there in certain states. It's there in pockets in certain hospitals. But even if it's not there, I think one of the key things that parents, when they kind of detect that there is certain responses lacking in their children, they should seek out for solutions because options are available, technology is available, professionals are there, help is available in different platforms. And it's not just about seeking out for options, but also following it through until the end. That's another key thing that I think makes a difference when it comes to cochlear implants or any technology for that matter. Of course, the technology has advanced so much that from what it was before with the pocket level model and which was not so discreet, to coming to really slim models with seamless technology which kind of changes in different situations. So technology has improved. You have access to it. So I would just encourage everyone to kind of follow it through. And another key thing that I would like to say is very often when we think about cochlear implants, we think of young children. Of course, that's more prevalent. We see pediatrics as the major population affected. But cochlear implant is not something just for one age group. It is something that's for all ages. So even those adults who may have hearing loss, who are experiencing it right now in their young or the old ones, quality of life is so important, and cochlear implants ensures that you have access to that improved quality of life. So definitely an option to consider to improve your overall well-being, I would say.
Very, very rightly put, ma'am. I absolutely agree. Um, can you also now highlight upon how the use of cochlear implants influences the language development and communication skills for individuals who are having these implants?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we say communication skills, it's a huge umbrella term. It's not just one. Very often, when we think of communication, we think of language, we think of listening, but it starts very early on with what we call as early communication skills, or pre-linguistic skills. Whether the child is able to attend to you, whether the child is having that eye contact, being able to listen and coordinate work, just early vocalizations. When you speak to a small baby, you see when you make sounds, they kind of repeat that, they echo that. So early vocalizations, turn taking, these are all linguistic skills that are necessary, that are prerequisites for your language to be developed. Other skills which are also developed when you have access to sound, and very early access to sound, is social interaction, children mingling with other children, not just children but also with family members, building that relationship, being able to play in a setting, being able to play by themselves, also by sharing and understanding the rules of the game, maybe cognitive skills, and of course language, speech, your voice, the way that your voice is. Are you able to speak in with inflections? Are you able to understand what is being said? And academic skills, and for older children, different challenges in colleges, peer interactions and social interactions. So there's a huge range of skills that depend on listening. So it's not just language, it's not just communication, but a huge gamut of things. And all this can be developed only when you identify it early. It's not just identifying it early, but also ensuring that this individual has got good access to sound. And whether it's a hearing aid or a cochlear implant, but ensuring that access to sound is given early on. And not just access to sound, but also habilitation. Therapy is so important, because it's like learning a new language, and you need to teach the child what is the meaning of the sound that is being heard. So ensuring early access to sound, the complete range of sounds, intervention, and then therefore kind of seeing the outcomes of all the efforts that you put in. So I would say it's a huge range. It's not just listening.
Very, very rightly put, ma'am. In fact, very true. The quality of life of that individual changes completely. The social fabric changes completely. Great. Now, my next question is for Lakshmi, ma'am. Ma'am, what are the common challenges, because on a day-to-day basis you are the one, you're working with these children at one special place, with these adults at one special place. What are the common challenges that individuals face during the rehabilitation process, especially after receiving a cochlear implant, and how do you support them in overcoming these challenges?
Okay, thank you for the question, Ananda. As ma'am said, cochlear implant technology, it has undergone significant evolution over the years. They have integrated cutting edge advancements to provide enhanced hearing solutions, everything. That is so true. But at the same time, while cochlear implant provides access to sound, understanding takes more than just hearing, right? So adapting to the process of listening through a cochlear implant can take time. So basically, the recipient is hearing everything. We are hearing all the sounds, all sorts of noise, and all sorts of speech signals equally. So initially, the sounds may seem distorted, unfamiliar, and it can take time for the brain to interpret these signals. So children often remove the coil at times when they hear the loud or noisy signals, and so that poses challenge to wearing the devices regularly or consistently. But such challenges can definitely be overcome. We can take the help of audiologists. There will be regular appointments with the audiologist. Ensure that you meet your audiologist regularly post implant, and appropriate mapping sessions. Follow the instructions given by your audiologist. And definitely, recipients can overcome these challenges with regular and consistent audiological appointments. There are noise cancellation strategies in cochlear implants which play a crucial role in improving speech perception and communication abilities in challenging listening situations where there is high level of background noise. Okay, there are advanced signal processing strategies also which enhance speech signals by suppressing the background noise. And these techniques aim to improve speech intelligibility and overall communication in challenging listening conditions. And definitely, post implant, the recipient has to undergo structured auditory verbal therapy sessions, which will help them to improve their listening and linguistic and communication skills. I think we'll discuss in detail in the upcoming discussions. And so, as I told you, listening in challenging environment as well as maintaining the device are the or wearing the device regularly are the challenges, the important challenges that we face immediately after the implantation is being done.
Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am, for sharing that. Great. Mithila ma'am, so could you, I just want to digress a little and I want to understand what exactly does a habilitation manager do? Like, what does your day encompass? Because I'm sure with your background and you working with AB and the kind of huge impact that you have, I want people to understand what exactly does the habilitation manager do?
Um, so my work involves a lot of different things. So I'm in the training and education space. So I look at working with different centers across the country, and looking at what needs they may have and cater to training the needs of the specific center. So having said that, Advanced Bionics, though is a cochlear implant manufacturing company, we believe that we need to support not just the professionals but also the community, which is the device users, and these significant others, the parents, the spouses, the children. So we have resources online, we have resources, hard copy resources that that we offer to all of them. So there's a lot of training that goes in. We are involved in assessing, recipients. If they have certain difficulties, then we support the centers in, helping assess these recipients and look at how innovatively we can navigate through challenges that they may have. The other thing that we do is also work a lot on spreading awareness. It's not, see, even though we're an implant manufacturing company, the main thing is hearing loss, and spreading awareness is the key to be able to at least move a step forward. There is no way of eradicating it, because every day we see it. We can only move towards awareness building. So I conduct awareness sessions every weekend. On every Saturday, I conduct sessions which is just about hearing loss and small tips that you can use to overcome this. This is for various age ranges. So that's something that I also do. So and we work a lot with music and hearing loss. So we have a lot of resources as well. We do a lot of group sessions with centers. And basically, it's about taking the resources to the families, taking the resources to the professionals. That's the kind of work that would be there.
Brilliant, brilliant. Very, very rightly put. It's the community that is essentially using it, which requires the maximum support. And I'm so happy that individuals like you are there for supporting these families. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the magic that you're doing.
Thank
Great.
you.
So the next question that I have for Lakshmi ma'am specifically is uh, how has teletherapy impacted the management of cochlear implants? Because I know that one special place we are basically working with teletherapy specifically. So if you could give us a little highlight on that aspect of it, that would be great.
Yes. See, the basic strategy or the basic therapy that a person has to go through post implant is definitely the auditory verbal therapy. And auditory verbal therapy is being conducted by trained ABT professionals. It's a certified course, so it's being conducted by trained professionals in the field. And see, teletherapy, when it comes to teletherapy, we have to accept certain advantages like accessibility to the service. You can get teletherapy sessions at the convenience of your home, and you get continuous care, continuous therapy services, and it is cost effective, of course, and you can customize the therapy strategies or the approach based on the client's needs and the family's needs. And there is a strong family involvement, and monitoring progress is definitely going to be very easy and in the presence of parent and the therapist. So AVT is basically a parent-centered approach wherein the parent is being empowered or trained and guided to satisfy the listening needs of the child or to train their child in the presence of the therapist. And later they become independent. They independently manage the child's listening training aspect. So, in case of teletherapy, what we do is basically we imbibe the core principles of ABT, and we follow the listening hierarchy of, as we know, detection, discrimination, identification, and comprehension. So we imbibe the principles of ABT, and then we give training to the parents. We empower the parents, keeping all these principles in mind. But we also ensure that it's a teamwork. Okay, it's not about the speech therapist and the parent training the child. We ensure that there is a team approach for the rehabilitation wherein the child's implant audiologist is also there in the loop. Okay, the therapist keep in touch with the implant audiologist, or the therapist keep in touch, get updates about the mapping sessions through the parents, or they take appointment with the implant audiologist personally and conduct personal meetings. And so what happens is, like, there is a team approach, and teletherapy definitely supplements the child's language listening and language development. And there are clients in one special place who receive teletherapy after cochlear implantation. But we ensure that it is not between the parent and their speech therapist. Definitely, we ensure that the audiologists are also there in the loop, so that there is a proper multidisciplinary team approach in the rehabilitation. And we also ensure that the technology at the side of the client or the child is the best one that they can provide. For example, the use of good speakers with good external speakers with good output. That is one thing. And I also feel that the therapist should have a very clear idea about the listening levels of the child, as well as the environment from where they're taking their therapy. And it's more structured also, because we are not there in the situation. So we ensure that just before immediately starting the session, we ensure that the parent is being counseled properly. The parent is being very clearly educated about the goals, and we are also ensuring that the parent, she knows the goal, or she is ready with all the materials that are being taken in the next session. So there is a detailed discussion with the parent before introducing child to the therapy situation. And so more, it's like a discussion with the parent before, and then we ensure that the goals are being discussed and conveyed clearly. We ensure that we are in track with the mapping and other procedures involved with the audiologist, and then comes the child. So, and there is a close, counseling with the parent, and we ensure that the parent knows, and the parent does. The parent introduces the stimulus properly, and the parent works with the child in the right, you know, uh, situations and right needs. This is how, in a nutshell, that we do teletherapy for children with cochlear implant. So we give importance to the teamwork involving the audiologist for sure.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent, excellent. Great. I can see that we have many, many, many live participants who have tuned into the session. Please feel free to use the comments to ask your questions, because we have Mithila ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am here for the next few minutes. I would really like to bring out your questions to them so that I can take their input too. Thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am and Mithila ma'am, once again for joining us today. So now, moving on to the next session, next part of our conversation, ma'am, you have already talked about language development, how it is beyond just only listening, right? So if you could give us a little more clarity on that, especially talking about how it makes the life of individuals, be it children or adults, a much more social way. If you could highlight about that, that would be great.
Right. Let's just kind of broadly look at children, and then look at the growing age ranges. So when a child is born with a hearing loss, we should understand that they're already born with a certain delay, because the hearing organs are developed in the fifth month of gestation. So when the mother is pregnant with the child, by fifth month the inner ear is developed. So by ninth month of delivery, there's already a 4 months of listening that the child has not had. So the child is already born with a certain delay, because children are hearing to sounds, which is why babies are kicking in the wombs of their mothers, right? So when we start identifying, let's say we identify that the hearing loss is there with that child at the age of 1 year. So it's not just 1 year, but it is 1 year, 4 months of delay that we are seeing. So when we detect that there is hearing loss and give them appropriate access to sound, which could be any technology and therapy, we have to ensure that we're able to cope up with therapy, that 1.5 years or 1 year 4 months of delay with therapy. So there's a lot of work that goes in, right? So we need to ensure, that is why I kept emphasizing that early access to sound and the complete range of sound. It's not just giving some device because it's cheaper and maybe easily available. Of course, affordability is a huge thing in our country. There aren't a lot of facilities to get it free of cost. But if you are able to afford it, give them the best access to sound right away, because they are learning. And as children start learning, along with we put children in early in school, and that's because the brain is like a sponge. The more information you give, the sponge keeps absorbing, right? So we start early and ensure that they have access to sound, they have access to all the learning facilities around them. And once the language is developed, we are just able to build on that. Once we are able to cope up over that delay of 1 year, 4 months, we'll be able to develop with that. Now, coming to school age children, the challenges are different there. The challenges in a school is different. There are many children who are asking for the attention of the child. Um, so we need to ensure that it is not just listening and language, but also academic skills that are supported as the children start going into school. When the child becomes a teenager, the challenges are different there. Being able to communicate with friends, being able to talk on phone, being able to listen to music. So we need to ensure that those challenges are met. When it comes to adults, young adults with hearing loss, workplace scenario, many a times with hearing loss, you're not considered for a promotion. Maybe you have financial losses, you have interrelationship problems with your peers, because you may feel that oh, I've got a hearing loss and they may be laughing at me. So the challenges are different there. And how do you overcome all of this? Of course, we have resources, we have professionals, but there's also technology that supports you in all of this. Of course, one key thing is advocacy, advocating for yourself. Whether it's a child or an adult, you need to let the other person know that you have difficulty and that they need to adjust certain things to be able to to be able to ensure that you're hearing. But we also have the sufficient technology to support you. It's no more just speaking through auditory trainer, or devices that were available many years back to help these children. We have wireless technology, we have microphones at the ear level which can take the sound and easily transmit. We have connectivity to Bluetooth devices, and regardless of which phone that you're using, so there's technology available which will help you with all your communication and language challenges throughout. And CI is a device that has imbibed all these technologies and integrated into it. So it's no more very niche. It's encompassing everything for the different age ranges.
Very, very, very interesting, ma'am. I can understand that someone who's working on a ground level with the people who are using these devices, you're able to give us a very, very unique perspective. Ma'am, at the same time, I would also like to ask you, are there any misconceptions of challenge or kind of challenges that individuals having cochlear implant rehabilitation, what are the kind of, from your perspective, what are the misconceptions or challenges that individuals typically have? and how do you address them in your practice?
Yeah, like I mentioned, that there is awareness improvement, but there's also a lot of misconceptions about the device. The first and the foremost, I think, is because it involves a surgery. There is, in layman terms, they say brain surgery, that they're going to cut up my bone and things like that. It isn't. It isn't. Of course, it does involve surgery, but there are specialized surgeons who've been trained who are doing this. It's not the cup of tea of anybody and everybody. They are going through a certain rigorous training to be able to conduct that. So fear of surgery, I say, is one of the key things. And we do have a very nice app that's been developed called the My Hearing Guide app from Advanced Bionics, where we have it catered to families who have a lot of questions about the cochlear implant. We have a video of a surgeon speaking in very layman terms about what it is and why not to fear the surgery. So fear of surgery, I would say, is the first thing. There's a lot of misaligned expectations. Some people would have low expectation. They would just say that I just want my child to hear the basic things. But some families may have very great expectations that I want him to start speaking at 1 year of age, which isn't, it does involve a lot of effort. So there may be a lot of misaligned expectations from the device. It's not a magic device, it just takes the sound and transfers it to your brain. You have to develop your brain's abilities to understand that speech and language. The third misconception is that, I'm too old for a cochlear implant at this age. Old parents, grandparents, they would say, I would rather invest this money in something else. I'm too old, what is there? But your quality of life is so important. Not being dependent on others, being independent, being able to walk on the road without the fear that something is going to hit you because you're not going to hear it. Being able to go out and do your grocery shoppings without depending on someone, being able to talk to your grandchildren and having that social communication. So all that is so much more important than just saying that, I'm too old for this. That's the third misconception. I'd say the fourth one is, as every new technology develops, every time the company comes with something new, a surgery is required. No, it's not. We have, in fact, an internal device from Advanced Bionics that has got upgradability. You don't have to go through surgery every time new technologies are released by the company. The fifth one, I would say, and is one of the very predominantly seen ones, I would say, is that I'll wait for the best technology to come. I'll wait for some breakthrough technology to come. I'll just probably implant one side, and the other year I'll preserve it for a later time. But you need both the ears to hear, right? Every one of us use both our ears to hear. By preserving one ear and not doing anything, you're actually making it a lazy ear. You're not stimulating it. And you don't know when this will come. Is it going to be now or 20 years later? By that time, the child has already developed so much without having access to sound on both ears. And the last thing I would say is, there's a misconception that you can't participate in sports, in swimming, in those heavy weight activities which require a lot. So we have a device that's completely IP rating is the highest, which is 68. Children are able to swim. They have waterproof processors. They can even hear the instructor with a waterproof mic. We have an Olympian, a para Olympian, wearing cochlear implant. She has gone to Brazil to represent the country and has received accolades. She came fourth in her rifle shooting. So there are children who have achieved great heights with cochlear implants, who are able to do great things. Technology is there to support you. It's just about getting the right information. So as a company, we have the technology. We also have a very strong AB community, which are advocates. Families are the best advocates. Every time we want to buy something, we're asking others for their reviews. So reach out to families. If you don't want to reach out to us, reach out to other families. Find out what is it that has helped them in their journey.
Absolutely, ma'am. The importance of word of mouth and community cannot be stressed enough. I think it's absolutely right. Ma'am, when I was reading about you, I must say I was really fascinated with the kind of experience that you come with. One question that I feel I must ask you is about how do you integrate innovative approaches such as oral placement therapy and play therapy in habilitation programs for individuals with cochlear implants?
What an interesting question, Ananda. Thank you for asking it. See, when we speak about a child's development, it's not just listening, like I have said, communication encompasses a lot of things. So we should not be just saying, of course, the child has got hearing loss, and we should be developing listening skills. But listening skills also impacts a whole lot of things, and parents are very stressed out. I really feel for it. I have a young child, so I know how stressful parenting is. And when you know additionally that your child has got hearing loss, we all become very strict in our approach. We start like teaching them literally like teachers, and therapy should be enjoyable. Therapy should be something that's fun in interaction. It doesn't mean that you always have fun and jump around. You do have some amount of fun, you do have some amount of structured listening. So that's where my experience of play therapy comes in. How can you bring in learning in a fun manner? And additionally, using resources. I think we are very when we speak about resources, therapy materials, we are very clued in about picture cards, and that's something that's easily accessible, easily doable, so therefore everybody uses. But using sensory resources, working a lot on touch, feel, the experience of listening, the experience of music, the rhythm, the pattern, everything plays a role in helping the child understand. So that's where my play therapy comes in terms of the opt placement therapy. It's about speech. When you're looking at a child speaking, they may be hearing really well, but if they're not speaking clearly, you kind of think, okay, he's not speaking so clearly, so what's wrong? Is it the device, right? The device may be working well, but if you haven't worked well on speech, then you see that impacts the overall quality of life. So OPT, comes in place when you have to work on speech skills, feeding skills, that sensory issues that the child might additionally have. And I also did Hanen certification, which kind of also helps with children who may have different advantages, and working with the family, more so with the family, and encouraging them to work with the child. Yeah.
Very, very, very nice. Very innovative, ma'am. Thank you so much. Lakshmi, ma'am, I have a question for you now. Like ma'am very rightly said, sometimes when we talk about visual aids to support a therapy session, we are stuck with the idea of cue cards, flashcards. But I know for sure, I mean, being part of the One Special Place team now for the last year, I know that there are a lot of innovative methods that we use, and a huge uh, a huge library of digital resources that we have. So, could you highlight and tell us a little about this aspect of it also? What are the different methods and technology and tools that you use?
Before answering that, I'm very glad that Mithila ma'am addressed the importance of OPT as well as getting Hanan certified to address children with other needs also. It's a great thing because most of the times what happens when we interact with professionals who are working in the field, they give more importance to AVT. They speak with regard to AVT alone. Even though there will be points about children who are having multiple problems or multiple challenges, uh, so she has really addressed that challenge also, and she has certified herself to work with such individuals, which is really commendable. So yes, and coming to the question, yes, as Ananda said, there are a lot of resources. A lot of resources in terms of let it be boom cards, let it be customizable therapy projects, and what we do is like when it comes to therapy, people have this concept that are we trying to increase the screen time of the children? Already they are watching a lot of videos. Already they are stuck in front of videos and screens, and the parents are not able to filter the content, and parents are struggling to pull them away from the screen. This is what we hear when we interact with parents when they enroll for teletherapy. But the actually what we are doing is like ma'am said, we are incorporating sensory approaches also. A lot of hands-on activities, a lot of sensory activities in the session, wherein the child is given a lot of opportunity to work with digital resources as well as hands-on activities also. It's like a mixture. So, and again, I would like to take the point wherein, yeah, the child understands, the child listens, the device will be working properly, very well. At the same time, there will be some problems with the clarity. So that means that yes, we can work with the child to improve the speech clarity. Also, for this, as you told, at times when we are stuck with flashcards, what we can do is like so the digital world has got endless opportunities, freely available educational materials. We have a lot of sites wherein I think I can name certain things like ABCYA. There are resources like Twinkle. There are resources like Boom Cards and a lot of other freely available resources wherein you can customize the material that you need, and you can channel I mean plan your goal and use the required materials digitally. At the same time, just try to do hands-on and sensory activities in the sessions also, so that there is a balance between the digital as well as hands-on experience. So that is something which has helped us a lot when we work with children online. So we are not just allowing the children to just sit and listen to flashcards, look at the stimulate the senses and like no, it's not that. So teletherapy is beyond that, and we are using a lot of hands-on as well as sensory activities also to make the learning experience more fun and engaging.
Very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, it's true. We have not just I've seen recordings of sessions where I know that the therapist interacts with the parents on a day-to-day level, and like I know that there is a child who loves dinosaurs. So every session of that child is built around dinosaurs. Whether especially we've recently, Mithila ma'am, launched a taste program where we talk about children who have sensory issues with food, who don't explore as many kinds of food that they could eat, right? And we are helping, where we have a team of our occupational therapists, speech language therapists, and the nutritionists working together and ensuring that this child has a holistic experience. So we have a child who's taking this specialized program with us, and even the food, we've said chapati ko let's make it in dinosaur shape. Let's not even talk about even putting a certain thing which the child doesn't like into the mouth. Let's talk about playing with colors, etc. So I am so happy that we're having this conversation today. I know that I a lot of our clients also, I know, don't live within the country, so we try to also ensure some of our therapy material, like during Diwali we have find the we have a theme based session which is completely built around Diwali. The entire month we are doing activities which are around Diwali. Now Holi is about to come up, and I know we have this plethora of digital resources which are all built ready for Lakshmi ma'am, etc., and the entire team of 50 odd therapists to use, which are built around this theme. So I think as much as we talk about technology, it's very important for us to talk about the personal level, the child, the family. What are the interests of this child? Um, and I am so intrigued by the fact that you said that the child is already born with a 4-month hearing loss. So how do we make it better for the child? And I'm so happy we even talked about important facts about oral placement therapy, about play therapy, because that is so important. Because uh, as parents we want our child to have the best technology possible, right? So how do we utilize this technology and ensure our child is uh, matching up and not having that loss that we expect them that they would be having? Great. So ma'am, before we come to the conclusion, I also want to ask you, as someone who's involved deeply in national as well as international forums, what are the emerging trends or advancements that you foresee in the field of cochlear implant technology? And I know that you have shared a video with me which I would like people to see, but if you could also highlight a little about it, that would be great, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, the options are endless, right? I mean, as the world around us is emerging in terms of its technology and technological advancements, we need to keep up. We may not be parallelly keeping up, but we are also, trying to see what is the need of that hour with, from families, and trying to get that to our R&D department and working on it. In terms of technological advancements that's available already with us, from the company. I mentioned a few, like, we have a complete waterproof processor, we have a waterproof mic that allows a child, even while swimming, to be able to listen to the instructor, to be able to also stream music to your device while you're swimming and listen to music while you're swimming. So we have that option. We have something called the T mic, where you have normal placement of the phone, like the way you talk. You don't have to like place it at odd places to kind of bring that attention to you while you're talking on the phone. We have connection to all Bluetooth devices, from your car to the speaker on your table, to your mobile phone. So this really was a boon during COVID, when children suddenly had to shift to online platform, and they were not able to hear their teachers, but with Bluetooth access they were able to stream that instructions directly to their devices, and performances improved. We have the internal device, which is 3 Tesla compatibility for MRI. So the age old think of being able to having to go undergo magnet removal is no more nowadays. MRIs are recommended by so many professionals. All the doctors, for detailed evaluation, they speak about MRIs. So technology has improved not just internally but externally as well. So differing situations. Now I'm here at home, and if I step out, there's a noisy road, and then I may go and have lunch somewhere, and there's a restaurant noise. So each time I don't have to be meddling with my device and changing the settings. We have devices with internal capacity, where the program seamlessly changes by understanding the situation around. That is artificial intelligence for us. So as the world is developing with AI, we have ensured that AI is also on the small little devices that you wear on your ears, and you're developing. Similarly, with therapy, I would say, like, it's absolutely fantastic to hear about your taste, the program that you have developed. I'll be happy to hear a little more about it at a later time. In terms of therapy, also integrating a holistic approach to therapy. And also I would urge all the professionals that, sometimes we just get really sucked into the world of therapy and our families and children, but find out, learn more, open up your opportunities, find out what courses will help you, what courses will help your child. And really updating yourself as a professional is as important as the technology around us. So go and do that. Don't be like just closed within your world of therapy. So a lot of technological advancements are there, and it's just set to get better. It's only going to get better and better.
Very, very interestingly put, ma'am. I think I've had a great Sunday morning today with both of you. It's, in fact, my father himself wears a hearing aid, and I know that till about 3 years ago, he did not wear one. And I know how much of an issue it was for us to communicate with him. And me and him are the category who we have our discussions, we have our fight, we talk about the entire universe at all times. But for us, it was a huge game changer that he could hear. It empowered us, it saved my mother's voice. I know that for sure. And she didn't have to repeat the same thing again. And I now enjoy my time sitting with him and having all of our discussion, whether we talk about AI or whether we talk about the temple at Ayodhya. We have our discussions. I'm so happy to have my father back. So I know the magic of hearing, how it has impacted lives. And I can only imagine technology supporting and making lives better. And
I
thanks to you.
have a
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I have a similar incident with my father as well. So a couple of years back, he used to wear a hearing aid which was not giving him the complete access to sound, and he was so disgruntled. My mother was so unhappy, like she would like literally be his mouthpiece. And then he went in for an advanced hearing aid, which is what I say, get the best hearing aid, get the best
Great.
hearing device. He went for an advanced hearing aid where he could connect to his Bluetooth and have phone calls without keeping the phone on his ear. And he felt so cool suddenly. And, he was really enjoying himself. And now it's the day that he doesn't wear it, or because of some repair or something, he doesn't have it. It is literally like a very difficult day for us, because he's irritable. He's like, I can't hear, I want my device. So the dependency has become so much more on the device. So access to sound and access to correct technology is so important, like you also mentioned.
Very
So
true, ma'am.
I hear you, I feel you.
I can totally understand, especially using the phone is a huge challenge. He's always on speaker mode. I will ensure that I personally also go back and tell him about this. I'm so happy we had this conversation. It's been a great Sunday morning. Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am. Any closing points that you would like to add in?
Very glad to hear from Mithila ma'am, and I know her right from my BSc days, so I know how dedicated she is, and I really appreciate the effort taken by her to make aware people aware of cochlear implant right from beginning. They have a lot of resources in their website. AP is coming up with a lot of technologies and resources in the field, and very glad that I could get an opportunity to interact with her. Thank you so much.
Same here.
Thank you for your
Likewise, ma'am.
kind
Thank
words.
you so much for taking out your time. I know it's a Sunday morning and it's time for family, but we thought that this would be the perfect day and the perfect way to celebrate and to raise awareness on the International Cochlear Implant Day. I'm so happy I could be a part of this conversation. Thank you so much, Advanced Bionics, for letting us have a little time from Mithila, ma'am. And I'm really looking forward to further conversation with you too, ma'am.
Thank you. It's just been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So
Thank
before
you.
we great. So before we leave, I have a very interesting video from AB just for you. Please do stay tuned and have a look at it. Brilliant. What a beautiful way to conclude today's session. So, in conclusion, let's also emphasize the significance of providing access to sound through cochlear implants or any other technology that you choose. But it's important that we remember we're empowering individuals to fully engage with the world around them and make a world of difference in their lives. With continued advocacy and support, let's ensure that everyone has the opportunity to experience the joys of communication and connection. Thank you for your dedication in promoting inclusion and enriching lives through the power of sound. Thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am and Mithila ma'am. Signing off from you today. I'm Ananda, and tomorrow we do have a podcast program that's coming out regarding our taste program. Do tune in to hear about it. We have our dietitian Suhana with me, and we have a huge podcast channel where we have a lot of people coming and listening to us every week. We're looking forward to a continued connection with Advanced Bionics and Mithila ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having us over.
Thank you, Ananda.